everyone for general. That happens like on all my topics that are like not the Trump topic. It's really weird, chat. I don't know what it is. I actually don't know what it is, but I get banned on every topic other than the Trump topic. And I don't know why. So it's really weird. Tap that screen, share the live, everyone. I don't know. That's if you've been wondering, that's why I've been doing that recently so much. Not only is it because the election time is around. I mean, I would be doing it a lot because of the election time anyway, but it's also because I'm kind of like forced into it. That I get put on timeout on my other ones, and then it screws with the algorithm. And it's like hard to send out to people. But we're going to get some people up here. You get some tired, get some rest. My bags and my eyes are always like this. But yes, I got it, Matt. Trust me. I will try to remember this, bro. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
15.
Oh, you are a fetus in the embryonic stages. You still sick, buddy? No, I'm not. Do I sound sick? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You good, mate? You look sick.
I'm not sick. How do I look sick?
The bags, mate.
I always have these. They're genetic.
Alright, man. I'm 22.
Have you ever been on my live before?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. But yeah. So, do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Yeah, because like if you really think about it, yeah, like the penis, like it's gonna go inside. Sorry, well,
No, I'm asking, do you think it should matter for women but not for men?
Yeah, because like when it goes in, like you know what I mean, like it's disgusting. Cause like
Why is it so every single time you do it with your girlfriend, you think it's disgusting?
no, listen.
So it's not disgusting.
No, no, please listen. Like, it's gonna sound bad, but like, listen, like,
Please tell me.
so like, once you put it in, like, the place, it's like dirty, right?
It's how so? So every single time you have sex with your girlfriend, you think that you're doing something that's dirty? Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much.
Because if you imagine you put
No? So you're not doing something dirty.
no,
So why are you not doing
please
something dirty in that
listen,
scenario, but it is dirty in the other scenario?
No, please listen. If you put a dick on an object, is that object dirty now?
Like if two people have sex, are they necessarily dirty? No.
No. If you put a willy on like, let's say in a shoe, are you gonna put your foot in a shoe, in that shoe?
No?
Exactly.
What do you mean? What's the point? Like, I'm not, why would I do that? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Because like in this example,
Like, dude, what is this guy saying, bro? Dude, what are you saying?
No.
How old are you again?
36.
That's such bullshit.
No,
What's your birth
please.
year?
Please.
Oh, fuck, chat.
I got
He's
you.
such bullshitting. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed at myself. Why did I not take him down earlier, chat? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 37.
Yeah, do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
No, I think it should go for both.
Okay, for sure. Let's go on to the next individual. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, on to the next, everyone. On to the next. Only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men, y'all. Yo, do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Hey, so I've been listening this whole time, and I'm going to be honest, I did start in the position of it shouldn't matter, but I'm going to have to switch that up. And I'd like to kind of break down these topics with you. You know, earlier there was a woman on here that was talking about how STIs are more risky for women. That's absolutely true. I actually did do the research on that. And I guess my perspective on it is, you know, the more opportunities you're putting yourself out there for, the more risk you're making for yourself, right? Like, that's the logic. So it's not a matter of like ethics. I would say that it's more a matter of like protecting yourself. Like, you're still putting yourself out there more times. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll ask you about this, though, as it relates to risk. Do you think that women should then have sex with women because that would reduce their risk factor, because women are more likely to engage in usage of contraception and testing, which means that they're less likely to have STDs?
Well, I'm going to be dead ass with you, right? Like, I'm bisexual. By the way, I'm 33. I know you didn't age check me, but, you know, I, of course, like with a woman, I feel like I am obviously at less of a risk, right? You know, so like, yes, I am more cautious, like when I am with other men. So I'm just saying that it is an issue. It's something that like we can't really like disregard. Like, of course, if you just chose to like be with women, that risk is like more so alleviated. But I'm just acknowledging that there absolutely is like a risk factor.
Yeah, so again, so women should only be with women because that reduces their risk factor.
See, and I heard you say that earlier, and like I feel like that's kind of like a fallacy. Like you're still
How is that a
dismissing the
fallacy?
fact, because like I think you're trying to dismiss the fact that like it's still putting yourself out there and it's still more of a risk.
What fallacy is
Like I'm saying that like you're saying that okay, so if that's the case, let's go to the other extreme and say that you should only like have sex with women, which is not true. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that like women have to accept the responsibility, right?
No, what your principle is that you should engage in behavior in which is less risky. Okay, well, this
and
is
let
a
me-
less risky behavior, so they should engage in it.
Well, I mean, obviously, you can't just dismiss your like sexual preferences. If I was hetero, then of course, like I don't have an option to have sex with women. And I did want to say, like for the record, I do
Can you
want to
say
be
that with
proven
body
wrong.
count?
What do you mean?
You could just that's someone's sexual
So like,
preference.
so I
to
guess
have
look,
sex with
I
that many
don't know
people.
if I understand. I'm saying, well, like if I don't know if body count would matter with that argument if you were more of a lesbian, that risk factor wouldn't be there. That's the point that I'm making.
Okay.
So it wouldn't matter as much, but it does matter. Like if you're having, you know, a hetero relationship and your body count is higher, you're just putting yourself out there as more of a risk.
So body count matters less for women who are lesbian.
I would think so, yeah. Because the risk factor, if for that specific point that I'm making, absolutely, I would say that is an argument.
And you're saying that you should engage in less risky behavior.
I'm saying in general, I mean, I feel like that's something that anybody should strive for, is just not putting yourself out there. Like if I was a father and I was talking to my daughter, like of course you just want to make sure that your kid is like protecting themselves as much as they can, and obviously that means in like reducing the risk. And again, we're not talking about the ethics of it. We're not talking about the stigma of it. Like, you know, if we're going on that point, then it absolutely doesn't matter. You know, like
Yeah, I think that we're going to
females
care
and males.
once it reaches an excessive level of risk, right? But like, I don't think that this is going to be a scenario where it's reached an excessive level of risk for us to then say that specifically it's going to matter more for one compared to the other. That's kind of like the point that I'd reference, because there are plenty of things that are more risky behaviors, but just because they're more risky, we don't consider that you necessarily shouldn't engage in them, right? It's only once it reaches some particular threshold of excessiveness.
Absolutely. And I think that like also needs to be taken into consideration. I just wanted to like point that out, that I do think like it matters like in that way. But the other argument that I had was the other guy that came up here, and, you know, he was talking about like how you don't know who the father is. And like, I do think it's the risk of that is like a lot lower now. Like, cause we're not in like we're not in the freaking like 1700, 1800s. We do have contraception. You know, there are ways that like people can be more protected, but it is a risk, right? Like, you know, if you're putting yourself out there and like, you know, let's inflate the numbers and say like, hey, you know, if I slept with 500 guys, you know,
Yeah,
the
getting
likelihood
in a
of me not knowing who
relationship
the
is a
father
risk. Any relationship is a risk, right?
Absolutely,
And
but,
we
like,
don't
you're
say that you
increasing.
shouldn't get in relationships, right? We tell people you should get in relationships, even though it's a risk, right? So again, it's not reaching a standard of excessive risk. That demonstrates my point exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Back in the day, like I said, like I'm 33. I've seen the Maury episodes. I've seen the Jerry Springers, like, you know, with all the women who have absolutely no idea who the father is. And that's my point, is like when you're just increasing those numbers for women, like you're increasing the chances that you don't know who that father is. That's my point. You know, like that you could not know, you know, who that father is. That's the point. It's not rare. Like I'm just reading the comments. It's just not rare. It's not rare. I did not change my age 3 times. I'm 33. Y'all said 37 earlier. It's crazy.
Okay,
But anyway,
alright.
I'm going to stop reading the comments. Point is, that was the point that I was trying to make there. there is an increased risk because you're increasing the numbers, right? So like if I go
You're
from
not
having
saying
5
that
partners,
it should matter more, though, right?
I'm saying that women need to be careful because those are the risks that are coming with it, right? Like if I'm a woman,
should it matter more for women comparative to men?
I feel like then you need to rephrase your question because I feel like you want an ethical argument, and absolutely, I agree with you that on an ethical standpoint, like it shouldn't matter. But I'm just saying,
Like, it should matter
from
equally.
our
They're
perspective.
equally as responsible, right? There's no
Yeah, but I'm
difference in the
saying
way that they should
that
be
we
treated
have-
societally.
We have responsibilities, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
we
then
have responsibilities to take care of our
making a
body.
different type of thing, but you're not applying it to all scenarios, right? You would tell people then to stop going in relationships because it's extremely risky behavior.
I mean, just not like maybe go to 100 guys versus like 20. Like that's
No,
my point.
any level, all of it's risky.
You're talking about a high body count for a woman, and you're asking if it matters, and I'm saying that it is. It does matter.
Yeah,
it does matter because
and
you're
heartbreak
increasing
is
the risk.
risky, and relationships are risky.
Of course. I also agree.
People get negatively impacted from those. So again, the same way that you have to say that it reaches excessive level of risk, you'd have to demonstrate that in the scenario.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that like we have more of the responsibility there, and of course I understand what you're talking about with like risk threshold, but it's still a risk that you're putting yourself out there for. So like it still needs to be in the back of a woman's mind is my point.
Okay, it would be in the back of a man's mind as well, right? So he should engage in less risky behavior. So then you're saying
Right,
any
but we're
man
stuck
should
with
just not
baby,
engage in
right?
sex because that reduces
Like-
his risk factor.
That's the point that I'm making is that we're stuck with baby. Like the man can walk away.
Should men be abstinent because that reduces their risk factor?
Absolutely not. That's not the argument that I'm making.
Wait, but that
my
reduces the risk
point
factor.
is just, of course. But what I'm saying is that the body count absolutely then does matter, right? Because then you're increasing the risk factor.
Okay, yeah, but you don't care about just increasing the risk factor because again, in me engaging in any sex, right, and not being being an abstinent, right, being abstinent reduces my risk factor. So engaging in any sex increases my risk factor.
Of
Appreciate the handout,
course,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
but like,
So if
but
it
by how
increases my
much is
risk
the
factor,
question.
right, you're saying that means that I shouldn't do it. So if
5
increasing my
partners
risk factor
versus-
means I shouldn't do it, well then why doesn't it
Right.
mean that in this scenario?
But like 5 partners versus like 200 is a lot. Is my point.
Okay,
So that's why I'm saying body
200
count
is
does
excessive.
matter.
Is 200 excessive for a man?
No, that's why, absolutely
What?
not. I'm just saying that
Okay,
it matters.
How is
You asked the question
200
that's up
not
there.
excessive for a man?
I'm saying
Under your view.
we already talked about this early. Ethically, I'm saying that it does not matter either way. If we were 100% biologically the same, I don't think it matters. But
Wait,
because there are
I'm sorry.
there are responsibilities.
No,
that we have to
if
be
it's solely
responsible
risk
for.
Factor, Mercer, I don't mean to cut you off, but if it's solely risk factor based, how could 200 not matter for a man?
I guess okay, so I wanted to make the argument that it's equal on both sides. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that 200 isn't an outrageous number. I agree with you there. 200 is 200. 200 is crazy. I'm just saying that like if you're comparing 200 sexual encounters for a woman versus 200 sexual encounters for a man, the risk on the woman's side is going to be she's putting herself out there to get more STDs, regardless of whether she's trying to be safe with contraceptive or like with condoms, they can break. You're just putting yourself out there more. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that it matters more.
Yeah, but the notion of there being okay, so you're saying the overall rates are higher. Okay?
Right.
So
You're putting
okay, so-
yourself out there.
So for women who use contraception, every single time they engage in intercourse, that's better. Their body count for their body. Wait, hold up. I'll give you a scenario. A woman, there's a woman and a man, right? The woman, right, has engaged in sex with 8 different people, right, and specifically all with contraception, right? In the other scenario, with the man, he's engaged in sex with 8 people, right, without contraception, right? Which would be in a worse scenario as it relates to this?
I mean, I feel like the woman is doing everything that they can to protect themselves. So, like, I don't think it's any worse of a scenario one way or the other. It's just a matter of, like, trying to take care of yourself and protect yourself.
Why are people?
You're just putting yourself out there. Because I think I'm 37. It's weird, but I don't
I'm
know.
so confused.
But I guess that's the only point that I'm making. Like, it was just risk factor and responsibility. But, like, in terms of, like, it matter, like, if men had like the same surface area issues with like, you know, the inside of their body parts being able to contract STIs more the same way that women do, then I would say that
in this scenario I brought up, who's in a worse scenario?
Oh, I thought I already answered that. I'm sorry. I wasn't saying that either of them are in a worse scenario. They're both in an equally bad scenario. I'm just saying that
because one's risk factor is higher. The woman using the contraception, their risk factor is lower than the man not using contraception.
yeah. So I'd probably say that she's taking care of herself better. Like, which is better? Like, that would be that. It would be better for the woman,
So
right?
she's in the better circumstance.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
She's trying to protect herself.
Okay, so again, as it relates to this, so you're saying that anyone who reduces the risk factor, so people who are abstinent are in a better circumstance than people who engage in sex.
Well, that's just true, right? Like, that's just the fact. Of course, they're in a better position because they're not putting themselves out there.
Okay, so you're just saying, so you don't think it relates to like morality at all. All you're saying is when you make this statement
Absolutely.
is that there's a higher risk.
Absolutely, that's my point. I'm not.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that it should matter more, that it should be stigmatized more. Any of those things.
Oh,
if it's
but
just that you're accepting
it
the
does
statement
matter.
that there is a higher risk, I mean, well then.
Because, like, I'm
there's nothing
saying,
to
like,
disagree on.
I'm coming to this from a perspective of if this was my daughter, right? Like, if I had like a 16-year-old daughter and I was having this conversation with them, the more times that they're exposing themselves, like 200 times, is putting yourself out there to contract STIs versus, you being more selective with your men and, maybe having like.
But you tell both
7.
your kids that, right? You teach
Absolutely.
all your
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
about
Yeah.
contraceptive usage.
I'm just saying
usage once they
specifically
reach
for
a particular
women,
age.
though. Right. But I'm saying for women, though, we're the ones that have to deal with the baby, right? Like, the man can walk away. He can deny that he's the child, that he's the father's child.
Your son wouldn't, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what my kid would do. I'm not responsible, I'm just
okay,
saying.
So you wouldn't raise your son to be in a particular way in which
Of course I would
do that.
raise my kid that
Okay,
way. That
so then
doesn't
yes,
mean
your
that
son
they're
would
not.
do that. Your son would be there. So again, in the same way that your daughter would be responsible, your son would be responsible too. Do you understand what
I
I'm
can
saying?
account for myself and my family, but I can't account for the people that are out there. It's like being on the road, right? Like, I can teach my kids to be a safe driver, but that doesn't mean that.
We were just talking about your kids, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is that, like, that's not an argument for, like, just because of what I do to protect my kids doesn't mean that people out there aren't going to do the wrong thing.
What do you mean? Of course, I think
Right,
other people
just
can
because
do the wrong thing. Even.
Just because I raised my son to not walk away from a woman who's pregnant with his baby doesn't mean that another man isn't going to come up with my daughter and impregnate them and then just walk away. Just because I raise my kids right does not mean that other people are going to raise their kids right.
Yeah, well, no one said differently.
So then I don't know
other
what you're.
people are going to do that. I was talking specifically because you brought up your kids.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, I gotta way the fuck backtrack here. But like, my point was just that you're just putting yourself out there more. And I would teach my kids to reduce that risk factor.
Yeah. So again, as it relates to this, clearly you could, so would you make this a case for alcohol, for anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
So everything that has risk.
Yeah, absolutely. You do it with moderation. You're not going to be crazy about it, right? Like, you're not going to drink and then get in a car and act like insane. Like, of course.
So every single time they walk out of the house, you're going to make sure that they know that they could possibly get unalived by someone
They should
when they're
be.
walking
They
to
should
the
be
walking to
raised
the
that
bus
way
station.
to know that. Everyone should have that in the back of their mind somewhere. Should they be
but, like-
paranoid? No, but
Yeah. So, but like again, that increases risk factor to leave the house.
absolutely. I'm not saying that they should hoard themselves. I'm saying that they should be careful.
Oh, Tashika just got banned. I'll ask her what happened, everyone, and I'll keep you updated. What was your point? Sorry.
Oh, no. I mean, some guy just said in the chat that I agree. Like, I agree that if everybody was on equal playing fields and the risk factors were the same, then I wouldn't think that body count matters. But I think it absolutely does matter when you're increasing the risk factor to contract STIs and you're increasing the risk factor for you to end up having a kid that's fatherless.
So now you're saying it does matter to increase risk factor. Okay. So then it should matter
I
more.
never changed my perspective. I walked into this debate saying that it matters because of the risk factor.
Yeah, okay, but you were saying it in a different sense. You were not saying it in terms of, so when you're saying matter, you're not talking in terms of a moral circumstance or of any of responsibility as it relates to morality. What you're talking about is that there's just a higher risk factor. So all you're
Absolutely.
saying isn't that it matters necessarily under the way that
I'm saying that
referencing
it matters if you spread your legs to 200 people versus spreading them to 5. Right?
Yeah, and that'd be
like,
true
because
for
if
men
I've
and
only
women.
had 5 partners,
Wait, Mercy,
absolutely.
that'd be true for men
I
and
agree.
women. So then again, I'm asking for the relevant difference between men and women. Because you're saying that it applies for
It's the
for women and not for
responsibility.
men.
Because women have a higher chance of contributing to contracting those STIs. And they're also the people that have to be responsible for that child that now doesn't have a father.
So again, as it relates to this, we literally just brought this up. You just said that, again, just having an increased risk of this happening doesn't mean you should do it necessarily. And again, we could also say that women should only engage in intercourse with other women because that reduces their risk factor, because women are less likely to have STDs. And then secondly, right, you could say that just people should be abstinent.
Yeah, well, I'm reading in the chat. Of course, both people are responsible. I'm not saying that they're not responsible for it. I'm saying that we're the people, like women are the people that are going to have to be the ones that are left with it
So
when the
women
man doesn't
should
show
women
up.
be abstinent then?
No, I've never advocated for
that reduces the
abstinency. I
risk
just said
factor.
reduce risk. Of
Yes,
course,
that
but not to
reduces
zero. Right, but that's what I'm saying when you're
So
fallacy.
not
is
to
like
zero.
that's
So okay, where is the
Exactly.
standard? Where's the threshold? That's what I'm trying to get you to establish.
I don't know,
Fallacy.
maybe, like-
what fallacy did I engage
because
in?
you're using exaggeration as a tactic to be like,
I'm not
okay, then make
using
it
any
zero with
exaggeration.
abstinence.
I'm drawing where the line.
Birth control does not always work, by the way, in chat. There are plenty of pregnancies that occur on birth control. But my point is a body count of
It's like
10
1%.
is a lot less risk than a body count of 200. Like that's just
Wow,
facts.
thank you for restating reality. Again, I of course, right?
Right. So
We're
women
talking
need to
about
be careful.
men and women.
Of course, like from a moral
Yeah,
perspective,
you should
yes,
engage in
that's
safe
what you
sex.
expect.
Men and women should both engage in safe sex.
Right, I agree with you. But they don't. That's the problem.
Okay, so why is this a standard that's applied differently to men and women?
Because they don't is the point, and we're left with responsibility.
Again, I think responsibility should apply to both. We're talking about what should be the case.
I agree with you.
Okay, so it should be applied equally.
I agree that it should be, but it doesn't, and it's not.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So your disagreement's not with me at all. I agree that right now it is the case that women, right, it matters more for them comparative to men, and that's because of societal stigma and because of the patriarchy, right, trying
Right,
to
but that's
control
why body
women's
count
actions,
matters, is
right?
my point.
That's quite literally the reason, right, is the societal stigma. So again, that's what I'm arguing against. And that's what I'm saying, that like if men are going to apply accountability for women to this, well then they need to apply accountability to themselves.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like we're the ones that have to be left with
Right.
the kid is the point. But
Again, but like
I'll just leave it at that point. I think we're agreeing to disagree in weird ways. Like I do agree with
Yeah,
you.
you're talking in a descriptive sense. You're not saying prescriptively it should matter for one and not the other. Appreciate the hanging lights. Thank you so much. So you're not disagreeing with the live, it seems.
I mean, I'll go ahead and talk to my friends about this, but like, yeah, I appreciate your time. I just wanted to talk through this because I was 100% on the live side, but then I started hearing other arguments, and I do agree with them. I do think you're increasing the risk factor, and I wouldn't want my daughter sleeping around with 100 different dudes, and that's versus
you want your
5.
son?
Like, of course not. Of course
Okay,
not. But I'm
okay,
saying,
so, like-
but I'm saying
so,
that the woman is the person who has to give birth. They cannot run from the child.
So, but
that,
why are we
you know-
only applying it to one and not the other? You're just talking. in
I'm
descriptive
not. I'm
sense. We're
saying-
talking about. Listen. We're talking about what should be the case. What should matter.
Absolutely. I agree. What I'm saying is that I can't run from my kid. Like, that's the point that I'm trying, like, or sorry, like, if I get pregnant, I can't run from that. Like, like, I can't just be like, oops, I don't want a baby. Like, I'll just like,
Women have abandoned children. You know that, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see it on TV. You see it in the news,
so
like,
I
of
don't,
course.
what's your point now?
My point is that you can't escape it, so you should be more careful. Because there are repercussions that you can't run from. We're not talking about the morality of a guy to not leave.
If they get an abortion, what's the issue?
Wait, now we're talking about abortion? Wait.
Yeah, you can get an abortion, right? Or
I mean,
you
I'm
can-
pro-choice, but
Okay, so-
yeah, I just you're just putting yourself out there is my point. But I appreciate it.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm putting myself out there?
No, I just mean like you're now in a situation where you have to have an abortion, and you're probably in a higher position to do that when you have 200 different partners.
Okay. It depends.
Again,
I
we're
mean,
just
like
talking-
someone,
yeah,
someone
we're
in
just
a
talking about risk
relationship,
factor, that's
someone
all.
in a relationship, right, could have way more sex with that one person, and their risk factor for pregnancy could be higher than the person with 100, 200 partners.
Absolutely, but then you're eliminating the who is the father argument. Like that's the point that I'm making.
Oh, the paternity test then. What's your issue?
Well, that's my point. Is when you only have one partner, then it's easy.
What's the risk
Like,
factor?
when you only have one partner, you don't need a paternity test.
Well, who
when you have
cares?
even 3 partners, right?
Who
Like, you
cares?
can't get a paternity test. But if you have 200 partners, what are you going to get? 200 different like paternity
You don't-
tests? Like,
wouldn't
what?
need- You only need a paternity test for a pregnancy. Why would you need 200? Mercy,
Because
come
you
on,
need to
please.
match it to a father.
No, dude, you have to get DNA for that.
Yeah, but I'm
Just
saying
get
if
the
you have
DNA.
200
you don't
partners
have to do 200 different tests.
for yourself,
Or, I mean, you
you
can
how are
do
you going to
200
find the
tests
father?
with their DNAs. You can test their different DNAs, I guess you could say. Right, but
You
I
would
mean,
still need to
I think you'd have a
find-
better grasp of like time frame than that. Like,
You would,
know
you
what I
would
mean?
still
Like,
need to find 200
is
of the
200 at the
partners.
same time?
Oh, of course. Like, what I'm saying is, like, okay, so like over, I don't know, like a month. Say that this girl goes to like a crazy, you know, I'm not going to say it on your live because it's crazy, but you know, like say she sleeps with like fucking, you know, 30 different dudes, you know, like. Then you're putting yourself out there, like God forbid, like your contraception like does
Yeah,
like
and
fails.
if a man goes to a party, right, and sleeps with 30 different women, right? I appreciate the corky. Thank you so much. Do you think that the risk factor could be pretty high with that one?
Absolutely, but the woman is the one who has to stay with the baby. Is the point?
Wait,
The man walks away. The man gets away scot free.
So you could just say that the woman could also just get an abortion. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much.
Right, but
They
you're
can only
putting
get
yourself
pregnant
out there to
once.
have to get
They
an
can,
abortion.
they can only get pregnant once. It doesn't even matter the paternity test.
You're putting yourself out there to get an abortion.
They're putting so
So what I'm getting at is that just the number of men that you're dating.
so are men. Men
like
are
you're
putting
just putting
people,
yourself out there more.
Men are also putting people at risk to getting an abortion when they engage as well. How are women any more likely to be positing to this risk than men are in this scenario, given that they're both engaging in the same fucking action?
The only argument that I'm making here is that men can walk away and women can't. That's the only argument that I'm
they're
saying.
both
Yes, they can get an
responsible
abortion
for it, right? They're both
absolutely. I agree with
responsible.
you. I agree.
So,
with
like,
you.
again, so there's no difference in responsibility. And Victoria, I appreciate the $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's the only
there's no
argument that I'm
difference.
making is that women have to deal with the consequences and men have the option. And we're not talking about the morality of the man.
And
Like
it
an
shouldn't
upstanding
be that
like
way.
man.
Men should be held to the same level of responsibility. right?
Absolutely, I agree with you. But do they?
Wow.
They don't.
Oh, wow, we agree there. Okay, well, okay. So, Mercy,
Right.
I think you're like, I don't even know what you're trying to say then.
Going back to square one, I can again. It just risk factor. They can't walk away from
I
it.
understand you're saying risk factor, but
Right,
then
so, like,
what is
I'm
that
not-
relating to? You're just saying risk factor exists. Okay, risk factor exists if you're not abstinent.
It exists when you're comparing a 5 body count to a 200 body count. Like, come on.
Oh, and there's also a risk when it happens every single time when you see someone when you're in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
are you
but
gonna
at least
come
you
up
know who the
to me in a
father is. Like,
relationship and
that's
be
the
like,
point.
"Oh, you shouldn't do it every time you see them"? Like, are you?
No,
gonna
but
say
at
that?
least you know who the father is. Like, or you should.
Again,
you know,
why is
like,
that relevant point? I don't want a kid. I don't think my
I'm
girlfriend
sorry.
wants a kid.
Protection doesn't always work. Somebody was saying in the comments, just use protection. Like, protection fails.
Clearly, it doesn't always, right? But what's the point
Yeah.
of that?
But I mean, I guess like my point is just what I've said. We're just kind of talking in circles at this point. So I think it's pretty safe to move on. We agree at our core. I will just say that we agree at the core. But in terms of like risk factor, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Okay. Sure. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's get to 100,000 likes, everyone, because we got banned and we got it back, everyone. Share the live copy link, send it to your friends. Tashika got taken down for sexual exploitation and gender-based violence. What? Bro? What is going on, chat? What is going on? She changed her age twice. I don't even know, chat. She's obviously old enough, but you know what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 37.
Yeah, do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Yeah, actually, I was looking into a study online, and I'm walking to my notebook. If you can wait 10 seconds.
Do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Yes.
Okay, why so?
Yeah, I'm walking to my notebook because I'm reading a study real quick. Just a second, please.
What is the study supposed to say?
Yeah, it's related to multiple sex partners, correlating men and women. Uh, just a second.
Yeah, what's the title of the
So-
study, and what does it say? What does it include?
So the study is called "The Relationship Between Multiple Sex Partners and Anxiety, Depression, and Substance Dependence Disorders," a cohort study. It's at NCBI.
No. Tell me the title one more time.
Yeah, the relationship between multiple sex partners and anxiety, depression, and substance
Multiple
dependence.
sex partners and the relationship between multiple sex partners and
Anxiety, depression, and substance dependence disorders.
Okay. And what does it say?
Okay, so the discussion part, I'll cut to the chase. The results show that, taking into account prior disorder status, increasing number of sex.
Can you read this for me real
partners
quick?
There was no significant association between number of sex partners and later anxiety and depression. Well, look, I'm reading right at the article discussion.
Gabby, I appreciate the
topic.
subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna read right at the article, not some sign-ups or something.
Yeah, this is this is from the NIH article. That's literally from it.
Yeah. So let me just read it, please. Okay. So the results
That
show
was
that.
from it. I read it. I mean, you read it yourself. Okay, go for it.
So, yeah. The results show that, taking into account prior disorder status, increasing number of sex of partners was associated with a striking increase in later substance dependence disorders, especially for women. On the other hand, and it goes about other stuff. So it says clearly that is especially for women, striking increase in later substance dependence disorders. So it is just a study that I came across. It's in the discussion topic. It clearly states that it's more special for women than for men.
So you're saying like especially for women, or you know what you mean by more special for women versus men. So the only thing you're relating to here is substance abuse, right? And that there's a correlation between this. So again, I don't know if it says statistically significant, but I'd have to check.
Yeah, I'm gonna statistic. I'm gonna.
Yeah, but like let's say that this is true. How does this indicate that it would matter more for women comparative to men? And by the way, the hypothesis, it's from failed partnerships specifically. This is from failed partnerships.
Analysis showed a significant interaction by gender. The results are shown
Oh, that's what they
separately.
hypothesized. My bad.
For women, there was statistically significant association between number of sexual partners and substance dependence disorder at all age periods, and the odds ratio increased.
And it said that for men, right?
No, for women. I'm reading for women.
Only for women. Where do you see that?
No, listen. Hey, it's on. Well, I can see the number of the line, but results. It's in results, under results. It says statistically significant association between number of sexual partners and substance dependence disorder at all age periods. And the odds ratio increased with increasing number of sex partners. So this is just what I wanted to shoot you up with. Maybe I can shoot you up on your DM with the study.
Sure. No, but like again, as it relates to this, there's a strong association, especially for women, as it relates to the substance abuse. Given this, right? There's still associations for that with men, right? But you're just saying it's stronger. But the issue is not the association; it's what causes it, right? So you'd have to identify that specifically.
Yeah, well, I
you could just say that's related to like societal stigmas, right?
Yeah, I didn't quite have the chance to read the entire article, which I would find interesting thing to do before arguing specifically rather detailed point. But yeah, I think that it's pretty clear where it states that for women it's more significant point.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to drive from that because you're not really responding to me.
Yeah, well, I don't have much else to say. I think
So
I
you didn't come here to
for-
respond or to.
Yeah, I just came here to give you an article, maybe to draw some study upon.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, do you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men?
No. And I also kind
Just read the conclusion. Yeah, I appreciate the corgi. Thank you so much, Mercy. I appreciate it. I will check the conclusion. I will make sure to do so. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
48.
Yeah, do you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men?
I think it matters more for women because of the simple fact that they're the gatekeepers of sexuality. And
What do you mean by that? Yo, Dark-Sided, thank you so much for the whale diving. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What do you mean
Well,
by that? How are they the gatekeepers?
if I guess just that's the way I think. That's just the way it is. I mean,
What? What is that? Just tell me what that means. I think it's pretty vague.
oh man, I lost my train of thought. I was on hold for so long. I'll come back. Thank you.
Well, no, you got this, bro. It's fine. Don't worry. What do you mean by gatekeepers?
Well,
Actually,
if
capitalism.
I guess if men just can't go out and have sex, but a woman can easily go out and have sex, and if there was less of that happening, there'd be less unwanted children being born. There'd be like less
If men
diseases.
stopped having sex with so many people, there would be less children.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, yes.
So, I mean, why is it applicable to only women and not men when they're both involved in the action?
I don't know.
If anything, hell, the men are are like it's their thing, right?
Yeah, no, I guess it's just my point of view, my thought that it's just like you just are reckless with your body and just having. I guess it does matter when a woman's been with too many guys. I mean,
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
only
It's just
women?
that's just the way men look at it.
I mean, can't women look at it the same way? Why does this mean it should matter for women but not for men? Appreciate that.
I guess in the way that the man would look at it is the woman's being penetrated and the guy's not. It's just like the more guys.
just
a
the
woman-
act of penetration.
Yeah, like it's been used, like it's a used
Well,
thing.
No, that's cultural. You're just applying a cultural attitude to the action. That's it. What do you mean by
Yeah, you're-
used? Like
Yeah,
I think you're
I
just
suppose.
associating that when a man engages in intercourse with a woman, that the man uses the woman. I think that's a harmful way to look at the way that people engage.
Also,
in sex.
like it's the woman that can be impregnated, so then there's a lot of unwanted children.
What
in
if
the-
they're infertile? Does it matter?
No, because then there's no child being born.
Right. So if they're on birth control and there's no child, then there's no issue with their body count.
Well, no, yeah, it's still a fact of like,
Oh, then it does matter. Okay.
yeah, it does matter. It does matter.
So then that seems not to be the reason.
I don't know. I guess that's just because of the way I was raised and the way that I look at things. I'm a lot older. I'm 48. You know, I raised a daughter from, you know, the day she was born until she left the house, and that was one thing that I taught her, to be very cautious and careful of her sexuality, her body. Be careful who she lets herself be
Do you have
with.
a son?
I do have a son too.
And did you teach that to him?
I did, but it's like, I don't want to say I didn't care, but it didn't bother me that I instilled those same things in him, but I didn't really worry as much as I did for my daughter.
That seems like culturally influenced to me.
It could be, yes, yeah.
Appreciate the confetti. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So like, why do you think it should be that way? Just because of the cultural influences? Because I think that some of these cultural influences that we have can absolutely be harmful.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah, it could be. Because no matter how well you try to raise your child, they could come out to be however. And yeah.
All right. I mean, so like in the same certain sense, would it be the case that like when my girlfriend's on top, is she using me?
I would say if you two are in a committed relationship, it's a mutual loving thing.
Well, okay. So I mean, it doesn't sound like using anymore. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. Yeah, that was one directly from Matt. I appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much for the confetti. I appreciate it. That was one directly from Matt.
I
Yo,
think
what's up? How old are you?
I'm 45.
Do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
I don't think it matter. I think it should matter for both. Honestly, to tell you the truth.
All right, I am just looking for people who do think that it matters only for women, but I appreciate coming up. Thank you so much, man.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, let's go on to the next individual. Everyone, only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men, y'all. Yo, Emily, I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. W Emily in the chat. W Emily. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay. All right, let's go to the next person. Everyone, please only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men. Yo, thank you for the money gun. I appreciate it. Yo, Emily, thank you. Sorry, everyone. I should not be eating in the mic. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
46.
Do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
More than so men.
Yeah, do you think it should matter for women but not for men?
Does a woman get to abort a baby without a man's decision?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
How does that not add up to don't fuck around until you find out?
What?
How does that not add up to don't fuck around until you find out?
What does that mean?
It means women can fuck around without any consequences, and a man does not have the decision to have his child, raise it, or abort it.
So here I have a question. So your view is that a man should be able to make a woman get an abortion if he doesn't want a kid. That's your view?
No.
Okay, so a man shouldn't be able
Man
to
or
do
the
that.
woman, if they want to have the child, should raise, support it,
So a man
and have
shouldn't
it.
be able to do that.
No.
So it's not his choice under your own view. Okay, so why are you
It is.
applying
Because a
consequences to
woman
men?
has that choice, but a man doesn't, correct?
What's up? Say that again.
A man
It's not his
doesn't
body.
have that choice. Why talk over me?
Is it
Can
his
I
body?
answer your question? Can I answer your question?
Yes, you can, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
19? 20? A whole 20.
21.
21. Oh my God, baby. But a man doesn't have that choice, does
Yeah,
he?
Emily, I appreciate the subscription, and Stephanie, I appreciate the subscription. Emily, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Sorry, you can go for it.
A man doesn't have that choice, though, as the woman does today, correct?
What? Say that again.
A man doesn't have that choice today, but a woman does.
Doesn't have what choice?
To tell a woman, you will be forced to have that child or be forced to abort it. Either way.
Yeah, the man
Does the
doesn't
man
have
have that
choice
choice?
over whether or not they get an abortion. Yeah, and you agree that with that too. This isn't the topic, but what's the point?
I'm getting there. A man doesn't have that choice. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go out and you sleep with a woman and she's pregnant. Is it yours? Do you know?
It could. Depends on the situation.
Exactly, it could, but we're asking about body count, right?
What's your point?
That body count matters when you're sleeping with a woman. Why? Is she pregnant from you or from the other 3 guys she banged from the past 3 weeks?
You can get a pregnancy test. And also, why don't you
Does the
talk about the
pregnancy test
3 other
show
women?
DNA?
Why don't you talk about the 3 other women that the man could have gotten pregnant? You know?
Which he should have a choice in them as well, correct?
No. So you think that a man should be able to
Or
force
you
a
don't
woman to get
believe
an
a man should
abortion?
have any choice, and yet you want body counts to matter to more?
Do you think a
or
man should be
not?
able to force a
Okay.
woman into getting an abortion?
No,
And Emily, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it on PayPal. Thank you so much, Emily.
no, I absolutely do not
Do not what you so they should
believe
not
a
be able
man
to
should force a woman into abortion. But then again, I also believe if it is the man's child, he should be able to tell her, I want my child, I will support it, you can run and leave like all the little bitch men out there that leave. So he can have his child and support it.
Oh,
Don't
so
need
you
her.
think a man should be able to force a woman to go through a pregnancy?
Yes.
What's the difference between forced
Because a woman
pregnancy and
can
forced
have,
abortion?
because a man, like you just said, a man cannot force a woman to have an abortion, but she can force him to pay for it and not be in a family, correct?
Wait, say that again?
You believe a woman can force a man to pay for it, support it, but not be in a family?
Like if he has a kid, like should he have to support them?
Right.
I mean, do I think that they should, or I mean, is what is legal right now? Because like
Can a
right now they
man-
can sign away. You can
What
sign
do
away
you
you can
believe?
sign away your
Okay,
rights.
I don't care what's legal. What do you believe?
You should be able to sign away your rights. Amanda, thank you so much for the $1.69 on Cash App. Thank you so much.
So you believe a man should be able to walk away and a woman should just deal with it?
I believe a man should be able to sign away his rights. Yes.
All right, then. I mean, good. Yeah, shit, good young man. I don't believe
Do
so.
I think they should? Well, if someone needs help, they should absolutely take care of the kid, right? But yeah, I think that you should be able to sign your rights away from the kid, like in the at birth. I'm pretty sure it is, or it's like before. I don't remember.
So you believe a man should be able to walk away scot-free?
You technically either or can sign away the rights.
Obviously, but under the law today, we can't. Correct?
What do you mean we can't?
If you are proven the father, you shall pay child support for the next 18 years, correct?
I'm pretty sure you can sign away your rights. I think in certain states it may be that.
No, name one state that allows that shit.
That forces you to like sign, like to do what? Which one are you asking for?
You pay support.
That forces you to pay support?
Yeah.
I think Texas might have laws on that. I have to. Oh, he just got a violation. It'd definitely be some in the South for sure. But yeah, we're gonna go into the next individual. Only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men. Let's get the next person up here. Please only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, I'm just gonna say this now, bro. It
How old are you?
doesn't matter. It does not matter if you have chlamydia.
Let's get to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you are not a fetus in the embryonic stages of development. Emily, I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. Emily's going absolutely wild today. Emily, you do not have to do this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hello?
Emily, thank you for that money gun. Thank you. I appreciate it. How old are you?
I'm 20. Oh, excuse me. I'm 35.
For sure. Do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, for sure. I am just looking for people who think that it should matter for women but not for men, but I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men. Oh, multi-guest user does not exist. All right, let's get the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men?
Absolutely.
Why so?
Because the more the woman has, the more body count she comes with, the more if you go through. So why would you have to suffer for somebody else before you?
Wouldn't that be true for a man too?
No, because we're wired differently. We have different abilities, different way of.
Is there a way you can fix your mic? You're kind of cutting out, man.
So we're not wired the same.
You're kind of cutting out, man. You said we're not wired the same. Can you give me any study for that?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're still kind of lagging though.
You have different abilities. You can bear a child. You can
Yeah,
bear a
are you
child.
in the
We
middle
can't-
of a storm right
They can
now?
give birth. We can't. No, I'm driving. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't do that on the live. It's TikTok TOS. Thanks for telling me. Let's go to the next person, everyone. I would have never guessed.
Hey Parker, how you doing?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 54. I just found out from you about you the other. I just found out the other day from you from Harry. I was listening to his live. You came more out you out today.
I appreciate it. You are lagging out a bit, but do you think that a high body count should matter for women but not for men? Oh, you're lagging a lot, man.
Yes.
Hello? You do? Why so?
Oh, hold on.
Be quiet, Alvin.
I think it's way better now. Oh, it's still lagging really bad. Hey, Kyle.
that better?
I think it might be better. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, Kyle, I'd love to have a conversation with you, but it is the case that it's lagging a lot right now.
What did you say?
Kyle, make sure to come on another time, man. It is lagging a lot right now, so I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'd love to have that conversation, Kyle. It is lagging a lot, though. I apologize. Dean is restarting, it seems. Okay, well, let me get to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men. Shayla, thank you so much for the $15 roast on Venmo. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Shayla. And Emily, thank you so much for the Galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Emily, thank you for the money gun. I appreciate it. Do you think that a high body count should matter for women, but not for men?
Yes.
Why so?
You heard of the saying quality over quantitative?
Quality over quantity? What do you mean?
I don't know. Is it quality over quantitative? Yeah, there we go.
Quality over quantity. I'm so
Over
confused how that relates to
quantity.
whether or not it should matter for women,
Yeah,
but not for
so-
men.
Yeah, so for women, it's easier for, let's say, someone who isn't good looking, or a female that isn't good looking, to attain men, are able to get in bed with men than it is for a male that isn't good looking. to
Okay, so
attain
it's about how
women.
easy it is. So, right, like, so if, so you know who Drake is?
Yeah, I know Drake.
Okay, it's easier for him to engage in intercourse than it is for you, right?
I mean, yeah.
So his
yeah.
body count should matter more than yours.
Well, I mean, the difference is this individual's good looking, incredibly good looking, and he's, in fact, let me not gaslight him too. No, let me not give him that. But he's
No,
very.
should it matter more than yours?
Should his body count matter more than mine?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean by matter more?
In the same way that you came up here and said it mattered more for women.
I mean, for men, it doesn't matter for men. That's like
It doesn't matter at all for men. Okay, so why does it only matter for women and not men?
Because there's a different when it comes to male and female standards, right? In society, there's different standards.
And what's different insofar is that you say that it matters for women but not for men. Amanda, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Because
do you disagree, Amanda?
Yeah, any woman can attain, realistically, any woman can sleep with any guy if they wanted to. It's not an issue for them, but for guys, it's harder.
I think that's not true.
What makes you think that's not
Want me
true?
to give you an example? So you're saying any woman can sleep with whoever they want?
Let's say most, in comparison.
What do you mean?
In comparison, it's easier for women to sleep with
So
men.
it's easier. Okay, so it's easier for Drake to engage in intercourse than it is for you, but you don't care about that.
It's a false equivalence.
How's that a false equivalence?
That's-
And rip Dean, everyone. What happened to Dean? Let me go see what happened to Dean.
Because that's just about males. That's just male on male. We're talking about male and female.
2 minimum age bans, everyone. 5 minutes. How long? Wait, say what you just said one more time.
I said you're talking about Drake and men. It's like we're talking about female and men and male. So it's false equivalence.
It's a false equivalence. So it's just that all you have is a double standard here.
Is it? There is.
It's a double standard without reason. Yeah, because I just
Okay.
showed how your reasoning didn't apply.
Okay, if you go to a club, right? Let's say a female that is on your level. Let's say in looks wise.
On my level, what does that even mean?
Just average looking female, right? An average looking male like yourself. If you was to go out, seek to sleep with someone in the night, do you not think that a female that looks average or has a higher chance of getting male attention or sleeping with a male than you would as a male, an average looking male?
No, I don't think that they would have a harder time if we're talking about me. No.
You don't think an average looking female would have a harder time, an easier time getting male attention and sleeping with a male than an average looking male would sleeping with a female?
I think it would be pretty similar.
Why?
I don't really see why there would be a difference.
I mean, you're not getting the point. I don't think you're getting the point here.
No, you could
when
just.
it comes to average looking males and average looking females, average looking males on average, they don't attain.
Okay, so on average, yeah, sure. On average, men, right, will have less opportunities than women as it relates to engaging intercourse because women are more selective than men, right? But I don't see how that's negative on women's behalf.
My point, exactly. And so there's a different.
Yeah, how is it negative for women? Tell me.
Again, because there's a different standard. Because it's harder for males to attain females.
Okay, but you didn't care about that, right? I brought up a scenario where it was harder for a man comparative to another man, and you didn't think it mattered more for the man in which it was easier for.
That's a male on male comparison. It's irrelevant.
Yeah. Okay. So again, you're essentially saying the reasoning doesn't apply, right, as it relates to the other type of scenario, the other way around.
It has nothing. It's literally.
That's all you're saying, and that's special pleading.
It's it's like your brain is smush. It's like you're not getting like the point is, right? Let's be Parker.
Do you know what
please.
special pleading is?
Let's be realistic, okay? Let's just be realistic, right? Please, for just a moment, let's be realistic. A woman, a female, right?
How am I being not realistic?
Any female on a night out is getting, if they really want to, right? Any female, they will be able to sleep with a male, no matter if they really wanted to, right? If any male was to go on a night out and they really wanted to sleep with a female, that would be in most cases it would be incredibly hard.
Here, I'll ask you a specific question, right? Right, Vinny Hacker, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
So he has more opportunities than the average woman, right?
Than the average woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could say so. He's
Okay.
he's a good looking
So
guy.
if he has the same body count as the average woman, it should matter more for him.
If he has the same body count as the average woman, it should matter more for him. Why?
Because he has more opportunities.
I mean, but he's still a male at the end of the day.
See, that's the double standard. Right there. He's just a male. There you go. You literally just ran right into the double standard. right
mean-
there. Like we saw it happen in fucking 4K. That
mean, it's
happened in
cool-
4K right in front of you, and you're still gonna deny it. That's
Thing is, right?
prejudice right there.
It's cooler for males because